Heat is always a major concern this time of year in Arizona, and it can overcome people so quickly. Joining us to talk about being prepared is Dr. Eugene LeVar. He is the Chief Heat Officer for the state of Arizona. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Until someone visits Arizona and experiences the heat, it's hard to describe the intensity and how quickly it can overcome someone. What are the signs people need to watch for, even if they're longtime residents? What should they be looking for?
Definitely. You want to know who's at highest risk when it comes to heat in Arizona. So you want to keep an eye out for the elderly, young children, individuals with chronic health conditions, outdoor workers, or those experiencing homelessness, and even people on certain medications can be at a heightened risk when it comes to extreme heat. But we have to remember, everybody is at risk when it comes to extreme heat. So we want to be sure that individuals can have an eye out for signs of heat-related illness and be able to look, see, and act. So when it comes to heat exhaustion, you want to see if anybody's having heavy sweating, weakness, cold and clammy skin, nausea, fainting, and you want to move them to a cool place, loosen their clothing, and give them sips of water to see if they can improve. But then there's also heat stroke, which is that next phase of injury that can happen when you're exposed to extreme heat. And that individual may have high body temperatures of like 103 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, hot, red, dry skin. It could even be moist. Rapid pulse, confusion, unconsciousness with the changing in their level of consciousness, and you want to be sure to call 911 immediately in those situations.
When someone is preparing to be outdoors, if you're doing yard work, if you're on a walk, if you're going to hike, what is the best way to prepare before you get yourself in that situation?
We go by the mantra of stay cool, stay hydrated, stay informed. So you want to be sure you stay cool, so look at those outdoor activities. At early morning or late evening, try to stay away from those peak heat hours of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You want to use loose fitting, light colored clothing. So hopefully you don't have a lot of absorption of that sun and that heat coming to that individual that's going to be outdoors. You want to stay hydrated. Think fluids, water, water, water. If you're doing a lot of outdoor work, also remember electrolytes will be very helpful to make sure that you stay healthy in that heat. You want to carry water with you. You want to set reminders to refill. And you want to remind others to take care and to drink those fluids, such as children, because they may not have the same thirst indicators that an adult does. And you want to stay informed, which is super important. You want to listen to the weather forecast. You want to sign up for our heat alerts that we have at ADHS to let you know when to take those extra precautions and what days to be really wary of going outside in that heat. And as we just talked about, be aware of the signs and symptoms of heat-related illness. And if all else fails, please remember heat.az.gov, which is an ADHS resource and website that gives comprehensive information such as what we're discussing here, resources, and access to a state cooling center map.
If someone is alone, I know they should be in groups, but if someone's by themselves and they start to feel some of the symptoms you described, what's the best way for them to get back to where they need to be?
Definitely. You want to be in a cool place. You want to make sure that you're hydrating. If there's any question of whether or not you feel like you may be going into any type of heat exhaustion or heat stroke, always reach out for medical care. And that could be reaching out to your healthcare provider, reaching out to a family member, or calling 911. But what we also encourage is checking on vulnerable populations, such as the groups that we talked about earlier, and be sure to check on your family, friends, and neighbors to make sure that they're doing well during the heat season. They know what resources are out there, and do that periodic check-in to just be empathetic and see how they're doing and if they need any help.
We appreciate the expertise, Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
We'll be right back.